The human, named Marcus, stepped off the small shuttle onto the alien planet. The air was thick with strange scents, a mixture of minerals and unknown plants. Towering crystalline structures surrounded him, glowing faintly in the twilight. This was the capital city of the Zareth Empire, home to the alien queen who ruled with wisdom and strength. Marcus had been sent as part of a diplomatic mission to offer peace and trade to the alien nations, but nothing could have prepared him for what awaited. The streets were bustling with alien life. Tall beings with luminous eyes and graceful movements walked alongside smaller, more rugged creatures. The architecture was unlike anything Marcus had seen. Spires of crystal and metal intertwined, and bridges spanned great chasms, held up by energy fields instead of solid supports. Despite the beauty, he could sense tension. The Zareth Empire had been under threat from a rogue faction for months, and danger could erupt at any moment. Marcus was escorted to the palace, a massive structure that seemed to grow out of the ground itself. Guards armed with sleek energy weapons lined the path. They did not speak, but Marcus felt their sharp attention on him. He had faced danger before, in wars on Earth and missions across the solar system, but this was different. Here, he was, a stranger in a world with rules he did not fully understand. Inside the palace, the atmosphere was both awe-inspiring and intimidating. A large chamber opened before him, filled with alien officials and diplomats. At the far end, sitting on a throne of floating crystals, was the Zareth Queen. She was taller than any human, her skin shimmering faintly in shades of violet and silver. Her eyes glowed softly, holding intelligence and authority. "Marcus of Earth," she said, her voice calm but commanding, "we have heard of your people. You arrive with peace, yet we do not fully trust outsiders." Marcus bowed slightly, keeping his hands visible. "Your Highness, I come with respect and hope. I wish to understand your people and help find a way to prevent more bloodshed." Before the conversation could continue, a sudden explosion shook the chamber. Alarms blared and red lights flashed. The walls trembled as the rogue faction launched an attack on the palace. Guards shouted in, their strange language rushing to defend the queen. Marcus reacted immediately, his training taking over. He ducked behind a crystal pillar and assessed the situation. A group of heavily armed attackers stormed the chamber, firing strange energy weapons. The palace guards struggled to hold them back. Marcus noticed that the queen was still on her throne, unarmed, and in danger. Without hesitation, he sprinted toward her, using his knowledge of combat and cover. He took down one attacker with a swift move, then another, protecting the queen as they moved to a safer area. The queen's eyes widened, not in fear, but in surprise. "You fight like the legends describe humans," she whispered. "Quick, precise, fearless." Marcus glanced at her, breathing heavily. "I'm trained to protect those in danger. Your Highness, please move behind me." As they reached a secure hallway, Marcus noticed the attackers were closing in from every side. He picked up a fallen energy weapon and fired, his aim instinctively perfect. He had never used alien technology before, yet his instincts guided him. The attackers faltered, allowing the queen to move further away from immediate danger. Once they were in a small side chamber, Marcus turned to the queen. "Are you hurt?" he asked. She shook her head. "No, but that was unexpected. You risked yourself for me, a stranger." Marcus shrugged. "A life in danger is a life worth saving, no matter the species." For the first time, the queen smiled faintly, a mixture of relief and curiosity. "Your courage is remarkable. Few of my people would have acted so swiftly." The sound of approaching reinforcements echoed down the hallway. Marcus knew they couldn't stay in the side chamber forever. "We need to find a more secure location. The palace may still be under attack." The queen nodded and gestured for him to follow. Together they moved through hidden corridors known only to the royal family. Along the way, the queen asked questions about Earth, humans, and his experiences. Marcus answered honestly, careful not to reveal anything that could endanger his mission. Finally, they reached a private chamber deep within the palace. The room was smaller, decorated with glowing crystals and soft fabrics. It felt peaceful, compared to the chaos outside. The queen sat on a raised platform and Marcus remained standing. "You saved my life," she said quietly. "That cannot go unnoticed. Your actions may change how my people see humans. Forever." Marcus nodded, feeling a mix of pride and humility. "I only did what was right. I don't seek recognition." She studied him for a moment. "There is more to humans than I imagined. Perhaps more than I should admit." Marcus felt the weight of her words, sensing that this meeting was not just about diplomacy or survival. Something deeper was forming, a bond that neither of them fully understood yet. The distant sounds of battle had faded, replaced by the quiet hum of the palace's energy systems. Outside, the city was still under threat. But for now, in this hidden chamber, the human and the alien queen shared a moment of understanding. "Marcus," the queen said, her voice soft but firm, "I need someone I can trust. Someone who sees the value of life, regardless of species. I believe that person may be you." Marcus felt the seriousness in her tone. "I will do my best, Your Highness. Whatever you need, I will help." The queen nodded, a faint glow in her eyes. "Then stay with me. The danger is far from over, and the choices we make now will shape the future of both our peoples." Marcus took a deep breath. He had come to the stars seeking peace, but he had found something far more important: trust, duty, and the beginning of a connection that could change the galaxy. As night fell over the alien city, Marcus and the Queen prepared for the challenges ahead, unaware that this meeting was only the start of a story that would bind human and alien destinies together in ways no one could foresee. The palace was quiet now, but Marcus could still hear faint echoes of distant alarms. The rogue faction's attack had been repelled, but the threat had not disappeared. Outside the hidden chamber, the alien city continued its usual hum of activity, yet tension lingered like a shadow over every street. Marcus stayed near the Queen, not out of obligation, but because he could sense her vulnerability beneath the regal exterior. The Zareth Queen, named Liara, observed Marcus carefully. Her eyes, glowing faintly like twin stars, held both curiosity and caution. She had seen many aliens in her life, some loyal, some deceptive. But Marcus was different. He had faced danger without hesitation, and he had done it for her. Not for glory, not for politics. "You do not belong here," Liara said softly, breaking the silence. "Your species is far from home, yet you risked yourself for me. Why?" Marcus shrugged, leaning against the crystal wall. "I've learned that helping someone in danger is never the wrong choice. It doesn't matter if they are human, alien, or something else. Life is worth protecting." Liara tilted her head, studying him. "Few of my people would speak that way. They are cautious, careful, afraid to act without permission. You act first, think later. It is strange, but I cannot deny it is effective." Marcus smiled faintly. "Sometimes courage is all you have. Sometimes you have to trust yourself and your instincts." For a moment, silence filled the room again. Outside, the sounds of city life continued. But inside, Marcus and Liara shared a fragile connection, built on respect and mutual understanding. The Queen's usual composure softened, revealing a hint of loneliness that she rarely allowed anyone to see. "I have ruled this empire for decades," Liara said finally, her voice quieter now. "I have made decisions that weigh on entire worlds. Yet I have few who understand what it truly means to carry that responsibility." Marcus nodded. "I can't claim to know exactly what you feel, but I know what it means to bear responsibility for others. I've made choices that affected lives, sometimes in ways I could never undo." Liara's gaze lingered on him, an emotion stirring she had not felt in a long time. Trust. "Perhaps that is why I find myself drawn to you. Not in ways the Empire would approve, but drawn nonetheless." Marcus felt a strange warmth, a recognition of something deeper than duty. I feel the same," he admitted carefully. But we have to be careful. There's danger everywhere in your people. They may not understand us yet. Liara nodded, appreciating his honesty. Yes, trust is fragile, especially between species. Yet, in moments like these, fragile trust can become the strongest bond. Their conversation was interrupted by a soft chime. A holographic display appeared in the center of the room, showing the status of the city and palace defenses. Marcus leaned closer, studying it. Alien technology was complex, but he quickly began understanding its logic. You have adapted human techniques into your defense system, he noted. That's impressive. It shows flexibility, innovation. Not many civilizations can combine such different strategies so effectively. Liara smiled faintly, a spark of pride in her glowing eyes. I learned from necessity. Innovation is survival. And now, perhaps, we can learn from each other. Over the next hours, Marcus and Liara moved through the palace, inspecting damaged areas and speaking to guards and advisors. He offered advice on defense, using both his experience and common sense, while Liara explained the structure of her empire, the politics that bound her, and the threats she faced. Through her discussions, the palace was quieter now than it had been since the attack, but the air remained tense. Marcus had spent the day helping to repair security systems, consulting with Liara's advisors, and learning more about alien technology. Every step he took deeper into the palace brought him closer to understanding not just the empire, but the queen herself. Liara led him to a private observation deck that overlooked the city. Crystalline towers shimmered under the light of the twin moons, and the streets below moved with activity, despite the earlier chaos. The sight was beautiful, almost serene, but Marcus knew danger could strike at any moment. You've done more than I expected today, Liara said quietly, her voice softer than he had ever heard it. You adapt quickly, you think clearly. Under pressure, you make things happen. Marcus shrugged, looking out at the city. I just do what I can. I've learned that sometimes action matters more than planning. Liara's gaze lingered on him, and for a moment her usual composed demeanor faltered. Marcus, I have not shared this with anyone, she said, turning to face him fully. It is personal, but I need you to know, because it affects both our futures. Marcus met her glowing eyes steadily. Whatever it is, I am listening. She took a deep breath. I am carrying a child. Your child. Marcus blinked. He had expected danger, political intrigue, or even betrayal. But this revelation was entirely different. His mind raced with questions, responsibilities, and emotions he had not prepared for. Yet beneath the surprise, there was a steady feeling of determination. You trust me with this, Marcus said carefully. Why? Liara's expression softened. Because you have shown courage and loyalty unlike any other. You protect life, not because of fear or duty alone, but because you understand its value. That is why I trust you. You are different. Marcus felt a warmth he had never experienced before. The weight of responsibility settled on him, but it was not frightening. It was purposeful. Then I will stand with you, he said firmly. I will protect you and the child no matter what. That is my promise. Liara studied him, her eyes reflecting both relief and uncertainty. There are forces in my empire who would see this as a threat. They would try to use this against me or against you. We must be cautious. I understand, Marcus replied. We will face them together, whatever it takes. For a while, they remained on the observation deck, watching the city below. Marcus noticed how Liara's posture, usually regal and commanding, had softened. She was a queen, but also vulnerable. She had entrusted him with her deepest secret, and he had accepted it without hesitation. Marcus, Liara began, hesitating for a moment. I have seen your actions today, your skill in battle, and your wisdom in decision-making. You are unlike anyone I have known. Perhaps, more than anyone I should allow myself to feel this way about. Marcus looked at her, understanding the or meaning behind her words. I feel the same, he admitted quietly. But we need to be careful. Our bond, whatever it is, must be protected. Just like the Empire. There are risks, but I trust that together we can overcome them. Liara nodded, a faint glow of hope in her eyes. Yes, together. The rest of the day passed in a mixture of planning and quiet reflection. Marcus helped Liara review the city's defenses, discussing ways to integrate human strategies with alien systems. He demonstrated simple tactical adjustments, teaching guards how to anticipate attacks with a blend of instinct and logic. The Queen observed closely, asking questions, and showing a level of interest that surprised Marcus. As night fell, the palace became a serene haven, protected by layers of defenses. Marcus and Liara found themselves in the private chamber again. Sitting across from each other, the conversation turned more personal. I have spent my life leading, Liara said softly. I have seen betrayal, wars, and hardship. I have never allowed anyone close enough to see who I truly am. But with you, Marcus, it feels different. Marcus leaned forward slightly. You don't have to be alone, Liara. You don't have to bear your responsibilities without support. I've seen what loneliness can do, and I don't want that for you or the child. Liara's eyes glimmered with emotion. It is rare for someone to understand without judgment. You do not fear my power, my position, or what I represent. That is why I trust you. A soft silence fell between them. Outside, the city glimmered under the moons, and the sounds of the palace were muted by distance and magic-like energy barriers. Marcus realized that trust, once earned, could become the strongest force in any world, even more powerful than weapons or politics. Marcus, Liara said finally, breaking the silence. I do not know what the future holds. There are threats we cannot yet see. But I do know that with you I feel safer, not just in body but in heart. Marcus felt a sense of resolve. Then we face the future together. Whatever comes, we protect each other and the child. That is our duty and our choice. Liara reached out, placing her hand over his. The gesture was simple, yet it carried the weight of unspoken promises, trust, and the bond forming between two very different beings. Tomorrow we begin preparations, Liara said. Not just for defense, but for the future. For the child. For the Empire. Marcus nodded. Then we begin. And we will not fail. As they left the chamber and walked through the palace corridors, Marcus felt a sense of purpose stronger than ever. The city outside might be filled with danger, and political intrigue might threaten every decision. But for the first time, he understood that courage was not only about facing enemies, it was about protecting what mattered, even if it meant stepping into a future he could not yet see. That night, the two stood together in the quiet of the palace, watching the twin moons rise over the city. Marcus felt the weight of responsibility settle over him, not as a burden, but as a calling. Liara felt the same. The knowledge that the human by her side was not only her protector, but her partner, her confidant, and the father of a child that could unite worlds. In the quiet glow of the palace, a fragile bond strengthened. Trust had grown into understanding, and understanding into a promise that neither time, nor war, nor politics could easily break. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but tonight, Marcus and Liara shared a moment of clarity. Together they could face anything. The morning sun broke over the alien city, casting long shadows across crystalline towers. Marcus and Liara walked through the palace corridors, discussing plans for both defense and diplomacy. The rogue faction's attack had been repelled, but Marcus could feel the tension lingering like a storm cloud. Not all threats came from outside the Empire. Some festered within. Liara led him to the council chamber, where the Empire's most trusted advisors gathered. The room was filled with alien officials, each adorned with ceremonial markings and symbols of rank. They debated fiercely, their voices rising and falling in alien tones that Marcus could barely follow. "Your Highness," one elder said, his eyes narrowing, "we cannot allow outsiders to influence our decisions. The human presence, especially, now could destabilize everything." Liara's glowing eyes flashed with controlled intensity. "Marcus has proven his loyalty. His actions saved my life and protected this palace. He is not a threat. He is an ally." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Some officials nodded, but others exchanged worried glances. Marcus realized that the Queen's revelation about the child had already begun to affect political opinions. He understood that this was no longer just about defense. It was about trust, perception, and survival. After the council meeting, Liara and Marcus returned to the observation deck. The city stretched below them, peaceful yet fragile, as though at any moment it could erupt into chaos again. "The council is divided," Liara said, her voice quiet. "Some see the child as a blessing, a chance for unity. Others see it as a danger, a reason to challenge my authority." Marcus nodded, studying the city below. "We can't control what others think, but we can control how we act. We prepare, we protect, and we show them that this union, our bond, strengthens the empire." Liara gave a faint smile. "You make it sound simple." "It's never simple," Marcus admitted, "but courage and clear thinking can make the impossible possible." Later that day, scouts brought urgent news. A fleet from the rogue faction had been spotted on the outskirts of the city, approaching faster than expected. Marcus immediately analyzed the situation, using a combination of human strategy and knowledge of Liara's defensive systems. "We need to act quickly," he said. "They will try to strike before the council can respond. If we don't move now, they could reach the palace walls before reinforcements arrive." Liara nodded. "Prepare the city defenses, alert the guards, and Marcus, stay close." As the day turned into evening, the palace transformed into a hive of activity. Guards moved swiftly along corridors, setting up energy shields and securing key locations. Marcus coordinated with Liara's advisors, adjusting tactics in real time. The rogue fleet moved closer, their weapons charged and ready to strike. Suddenly, alarms blared. Drones reported that the enemy had breached the outer perimeter. Marcus and Liara rushed to a command center overlooking the main courtyard. From the glass panels, they could see enemy ships descending, firing energy blasts that shook the city. "This is not just a test of strength," Marcus said, gripping the edge of the console. "It's a test of unity. If we fight together, we can hold them off." Liara nodded, her glowing eyes focused. "We will not fail. Not tonight." The city slowly recovered from the rogue faction's attack. Buildings that had been damaged sparkled again under alien energy repairs, and citizens returned to their daily lives. Yet Marcus and Liara knew that peace was temporary. The Empire's internal division still simmered, and the rogue faction could return at any moment. Liara summoned her council once more. This time, she wanted to present a plan that could unite the Empire and protect both the child and the people. Marcus stood beside her as she addressed the room, his presence both a statement and a shield. "The rogue faction threatens all of us," Liara began, her voice steady. "They do not care for rank, tradition, or honor. They seek only power and destruction. To defeat them, we must act as one. Humans and Zerithians alike must trust each other and work together." Some officials nodded, their eyes showing cautious approval. Others remained skeptical, whispering among themselves. One elder spoke out. "Your Highness, we cannot allow an outsider, especially one tied to your child, to influence decisions of the Empire. It will undermine our authority." Liara's gaze was sharp. "Marcus has saved lives, including mine. His strategies have protected our city and people. His presence strengthens us. Trust must be earned by action, and he has earned it." Marcus stepped forward, speaking carefully in his calm, deliberate tone. "I am not here to take power or disrupt traditions. I am here to help, to protect life, and to ensure the future is safe for everyone. That includes the child, the symbol of a possible new unity between our peoples." The council murmured again, some nodding in agreement. Liara gave Marcus a small, approving smile. She could sense the respect growing for him among her people. His courage, intelligence, and fairness were hard to ignore. That evening, Marcus and Liara returned to the observation deck. The city glittered under the twin moons, and a quiet sense of hope settled in the air. "Do you think they will accept him?" Marcus asked, referring to the child. Liara shook her head slowly. "Not all of them. Some will oppose this bond because it challenges tradition. But courage, loyalty, and unity can win hearts. That is why I trust you. Together we will show them a new path." Their discussion was interrupted by a sudden alarm. Scouts had detected a large rogue fleet approaching the planet's outer orbit. The threat was bigger this time. More ships, more weapons, and more determination to destroy the Empire and seize control. Marcus immediately moved to coordinate the city's defenses. "We need a plan that protects the palace and the civilians, while giving us a chance to strike at the enemy fleet. Timing will be crucial." Liara joined him, her presence steadying the anxious guards. "We cannot afford hesitation. Every decision matters. Marcus, lead our forces if necessary. I will support you in every way I can." The battle began at dawn. Marcus directed defensive turrets, troop movements, and countermeasures with precision. Alien soldiers followed his orders, impressed by his quick thinking and ability to combine human and Zerithian tactics. Meanwhile, Liara moved among her people, inspiring courage and calm. She addressed soldiers personally, reassured civilians, and coordinated with Marcus to ensure their strategies worked seamlessly. The bond between human and queen was evident to all, strength born from mutual respect and trust. At one critical moment, the rogue faction managed to breach a secondary defense line. Marcus saw a group of attackers heading straight for the palace's inner chambers, where Liara and her advisors remained. Without hesitation, he grabbed a weapon and rushed toward them. Liara's voice echoed behind him, commanding the guards to follow his lead. "Protect him," she shouted. "He protects us all." The fight was intense. Marcus and the guards worked together, using a combination of alien technology and human tactics to stop the attackers. Marcus shielded Liara when an enemy soldier came dangerously close, showing once again his willingness to risk himself for her and the child. Finally, the rogue fleet began to retreat. The combined efforts of Marcus, Liara, and the city's defenders had turned the tide. Cheers erupted among the citizens and soldiers, but Marcus knew better than to celebrate fully. Threats still existed, both from outside and within the Empire. After the battle, Marcus and Liara stood together in the quiet of the palace courtyard. The city around them was damaged but alive, the people resilient. Liara looked at Marcus with admiration. "You risked everything today for me, for the child, for the Empire. I cannot thank you enough." Marcus shook his head. "I did what needed to be done. That is all. You and the child. You are worth protecting." Liara stepped closer, placing a hand on his arm. "Your courage, it is unmatched. Not just in battle, but in trust, in heart. You are teaching my people that humans are not just outsiders. You are showing them what unity can achieve." Marcus felt a warmth in his chest. "Then we continue. Together. We protect the Empire, and we protect the future." Liara nodded, her glowing eyes reflecting hope. "Yes, together." That night the palace was alive with quiet celebrations. Citizens honored the defenders and soldiers repaired defenses, but Marcus and Liara remained in a small private chamber. They spoke softly, reflecting on the day's events and the bond that had grown between them. "We have faced danger, Marcus," Liara said. "But the greatest challenge is ahead, not just from enemies, but from those who cannot yet see the value of unity." Marcus took her hand. "We will face it together. Whatever comes, we will protect each other and the child. That is our duty, and our promise." Liara's eyes glimmered. "Yes, our bond is not just for us. It is for the Empire, for the people, and for the future of both our species. Outside, the city rested under the twin moons, a symbol of resilience and hope. Marcus knew that challenges would come again, that battles were not over, and that political intrigue could strike at any moment. But for now, they had won a victory that mattered, not just in battle, but in trust, courage, and unity. Together, human and queen stood side by side, ready to face whatever the future held, bound by loyalty, trust, and the promise of a new life that could change the course of the galaxy forever. The twin moons shone brightly over the alien city, casting shimmering light on the crystal towers and bustling streets below. Marcus and Liara stood together on the observation deck, watching their people move with purpose. The city had recovered from the recent attacks, but both knew that peace was fragile. Challenges remained, both from outside threats and internal dissent. Yet for the first time they felt a sense of hope. "The Empire is stronger than it was before," Marcus said quietly. "The people are learning to trust each other and to trust us." Liara nodded, her glowing eyes reflecting determination. "Yes, but the work is not over. Some council members still oppose our bond. The rogue faction may return, and our child will be the first to bridge our worlds." Marcus smiled, placing a hand over hers. "Then we keep building. Step by step, together." That morning the council convened for a decisive session. Liara entered the chamber with Marcus by her side. The room was filled with alien officials, their expressions a mixture of curiosity, concern, and respect. The tension was palpable. "We have faced great danger," Liara began, her voice steady. "Our empire has survived attacks, internal unrest, and division. But we stand together. Today I ask you to see what is truly important, not rank, tradition, or fear, but life, unity, and the future." Marcus stepped forward. "I am not here to take power or disrupt your traditions. I am here to help to protect life and to show that humans can be trusted allies. Together we can defend the Empire, grow stronger, and ensure the safety of the child who represents a new beginning for all of us." The council murmured among themselves. Some members nodded, recognizing the truth in his words. Others were, still cautious, hesitant to accept a human's role in the Empire's future. But Liara's presence, combined with Marcus's actions and honesty, made their resistance weaker. Finally, an elder spoke, his tone thoughtful. "You have proven yourselves in battle, in strategy, and in loyalty. Perhaps this bond is not a threat, but a new strength for our people." Liara's glowing eyes softened. "Then let us move forward together, for the Empire, for the child, for a future where we are united, not divided." Outside, the citizens cheered. Word of the council's acceptance spread quickly, giving hope to soldiers, families, and leaders alike. Marcus felt a sense of pride, tempered by humility. He had never sought recognition, yet the gratitude in the eyes of the people was undeniable. Later, that day Marcus and Liara returned to their private chamber. The palace, once a place of danger and uncertainty, now felt like a home. The walls glimmered softly under ambient energy lights, and the city beyond moved peacefully, for the first time in months. "I never imagined that a human could be part of my life," Liara said quietly, taking Marcus's hand. "And yet you have proven that courage, loyalty, and understanding can cross worlds. You are more than a protector. You are family." Marcus smiled, feeling the weight of her words. "And you are more than a queen. You are a mother, a leader, and a person who inspires loyalty and hope. I am honored to stand with you." The weeks passed and the Empire settled into a new rhythm. Marcus trained with the guards, shared strategies with the council, and helped integrate human technology with Zareth systems. Liara continued her duties as queen, but now she did so with Marcus beside her. Together they showed the Empire that cooperati,